Hey guys, I hope you're doing well today. Today I'm going to show you how to make one of these, how to fold. This is a world record paper airplane, won the world record for long distance. So let's get to it. Going to begin by doing a fold that we did when we made a square of paper. So I'm going to fold the top left corner all the way across. I want to make a really nice sharp point here. I want to line up these edges. So I'm going to pay a little bit of attention to that. I will say that I watched a video that showed me how to fold this plane, and the man who taught the video, he was the one that made the world record plane, and he said precision and symmetry are very important, so especially for this guy, so keep that in mind. I'm going to open that up. I'm going to fold the opposite corner across now, same way, paying close attention to lining up the edges, making the sharp point up there at the top, and then make that really nice sharp crease. Going to then open that up. And now we're going to do, so I'm going to bring this edge to this crease here. So I'll show you that. I want to make a nice sharp point here. So I want to line up those creases. And this is, so this next step that I'm going to show you here is kind of per his recommendation. So he leaves, and you can kind of see it here, just a little bit of space between, it's like a millimeter of space between the crease line and that edge of paper. We'll do that on both sides. So we're going to fold this side over the same way, and I'm going to leave just that millimeter of space before I make my fold. Alright, so you should have something that looks kind of like this. We are going to go ahead and fold those pieces in, reinforcing those creases again. And now we're going to use this this crossing point here as kind of a guide, because I'm going to fold this top edge down and I want it to hinge right on that crease. Another way to know if you're in the right area is you can see these crease marks. When I bring this piece of paper over, they should line up with these parts of the wing. And I want to try to keep this paper from bunching, which it kind of is doing a little bit. I'm lining up my crease marks. Now I'm going to go ahead and press that into a nice sharp fold. Now, you can kind of see it, but I've got like a little bit of bubbling here. Same thing on this side. I don't want that. I want this to lay nice and flat. So I'm just going to reinforce these creases, pulling away from the top, and that should kind of get rid of that. Do the same thing over here. So just pulling that so that it lays nice and flat. We're now going to take these folds that are kind of already in existence. We're doing right now is kind of that preparation. So I'm just going to fold it over, and then when I go to fold it, when I go to actually hold those folds and keep them where they are, I'm going to fold both at the same time. And again, this is all from the world record guy's recommendations. He says that when you fold both at the same time, that the paper will kind of bunch evenly. Alright, so we've got, you can see kind of our base for our paper airplane. One of the reasons I think this paper airplane flies so well is because the weight. So there's weight here in the nose, and I think it balances the whole thing out. Anyways, we're going to take this now and we're going to fold it in half using that crease kind of as our guide. What's very important is that these back corners of the wings will line up. So before I actually make my fold, I'm just going to spend a moment making sure they line up the way I want them to before I press that crease in. Really reinforcing these creases, that's very important. Going over this piece as well. Any place where you know there are creases, I would just recommend reinforcing. Now, so we're going to start to create a nose fold here, so where kind of the nose of the plane will be. And then our guide is going to be this edge. So I want this edge just to touch this corner back here. So I'm going to start by just kind of creating kind of a sharp nose fold there. And then, so I've made that initial fold, and now I'm just bringing that corner so that it's touching the edge of the paper. And once it's doing that, I'll press this whole fold into existence. Reinforcing the creases, really just kind of going over the whole thing. Now I'll flip the whole thing over, do the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to begin with that nose fold and just making sure that it lines up with the fold that is behind it. And then same thing, I'm going to line up this back edge before I make that crease. Now the world record holder, he's a physics guy, so he studies the science behind these planes, and one of the things that he recommends is that you then take these wings and kind of curve them a little bit. So you can see I'm starting to do that now. So I'm just kind of causing them to have a very slight curve, and that curve, he referred to it in a precise term, but that curve is basically going to make this guy as aerodynamic as possible. So you can see it really well right there. That's kind of the curve that you want. Let's have a little test flight. So let's adjust my camera here, make it so it looks the way it should. Here's my plane, and let's just, you can see that thing glides really well. Thanks for watching. Hope it works out well for you.